Hey YouTube, it's Tempest. Thanks for being so patient, but I have finally gotten in my shipment of Vanguard stuff for some Shadow Paladins. I'm waiting on one card before I finish the build, um, and then I'll be able to test it out for real. Um, but this deck I think is going to be very unique based on how I'm playing it, because I don't have enough of some cards to make it the best that I want it to be, so I'm doing a unique build. Um, I have to give some props to my friend, not friend, but the guy. If you don't know who he is, Scarecrow Kaiser. He's one of the best Vanguard players on the internet that I can think of. Um, anyway, he made a Gold Paladin deck that was Garmor Spectral Duke, but it ran the Bunny engine, so it has Spring Breeze Messenger, um, Dindrain, Silver Fang Witch, I think a couple Lop-Ear shooters. Basically what it does is, with Garmor and Spring Breeze, you can start Superior Calling a shit ton of stuff from the deck, and then ride Spectral Duke and Limit Break to eat all your pluses, and then ride Garmor again to give yourself the 5k boost. It's kind of like that, so I thought that I could probably pull something off like that for Shadow Paladin. Um, it doesn't work nearly as well, but I think it does what I want it to do for this deck, so I'm going to go ahead and get through it. Obviously you're starting this full bow, because full bow is the best really. For your grade 3s you have 3 Babdikar, and then 3 Dictator and 2 Phantom Blaster. Phantom Blaster is at 2, just so I can get the plus off of the Javelin Ride Chain. But really what you want to do here is turn 3 you can ride the Dark Dictator if your field is fixed, and then just use stuff to beat down with, so you'll be having some big columns. Now after reading some articles online, I'm figuring out that this deck might not be as good as I initially intended, because when you ride your grade 3 you want your field to be able to transfer right from early game into mid game, and the Dark Dictator really doesn't do that because he has his on-ride ability. The Soul Blast 3 gives 2 units in your front row plus 5,000 power. That's kind of wasted if you ride him mid-game. He's basically there for a 20k beater. But the fact that you have Spectral Duke to make your pluses, and you put him somewhere is pretty good. So basically what you do is you ride the Dictator, do your beatdown, and then use Matcha and Babdikar to grade your pluses, and then you use Spectral Duke, not Spectral Duke, sorry, Phantom Blaster Dragon to get rid of all the bad pluses, call more stuff, and then push for game. Now it loses a lot of hand advantage, and you can't get a lot of that back off Ildona or anything, or Ildona I guess, but this is the way I'm doing it for now, mainly because of my grade 2 lineup. I can't run anything else really. Let me just explain. So for grade 2s, I'm only running the one Blaster Dark. You really only need one because if you ride Javelin on full val, you'll search it, and if you can't search it, well then that's a shame. Doesn't really matter. It's still 9k rear 2 Rugos, 1 Ildona, 3 Vanilla Beaters, triple Dark Armor at 1, because I only have one. I'm mainly running this because I don't have a 3rd Curse Lancer. His ability is when he attacks, you can retire one of your rear guards, and then it gains 4,000 power, so it helps you clear your pluses. So that's pretty helpful. 2 Matcha, of course, because she's good like that. 2 Nemen, and then the 2 Curse Lancer. So part of the reason I can't run Ildona in this deck is because I only have 2 Curse Lancer. If I bumped it up to 3, I'd be more comfortable doing it. But to be honest, that's the only reason. This deck doesn't counterblast very much, but without the 3rd Curse Lancer, I don't feel comfortable enough to run Ildona. So it's not the best lineup that I can think of, but I think it's for what it does a good enough job. And maybe if I have more triple Dark Armor, it could be good. I'm still trying to test it and see how it works, but we'll have to wait and see. Grade 1s, we have the 4 Javelins. Obviously, they're not really necessary in this kind of deck, but I am running the 2 tech Phantom Blaster Dragons, so If anything, I can discard my extra dictators and add the cards to search off Phantom Blaster Dragon, just so I can get his plus. 3 Charon and 3 Arian Rod. Running Arian Rod at 3 so I can put her behind a Dictator if I need to get her skill off every turn. Charon isn't needed as much, so only at 3. And the 4 perfect cards, obviously I'll get these at a later point in time once I perfect the deck. And then of course, rainbow triggers because you don't have anything better to run. Okay, you get the idea. So, that's the deck. So obviously, if you want to get the deck to go off well, you have to pull off the ride chain if you can, and if you can't, you ride like triple dark armor, or you ride Arugos. Yeah, because dark armor gets a skill from Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. You can do either or. Start plussing, and then once you have a full field, then you can ride the Dictator and push for game. Except that you can't really push for game. You guys have to put pressure on your opponent. So really, I haven't tested this much against people. I end up with losing some advantage, even with draw triggers in this deck. The Dictator ride turn 3 can really make you lose advantage, because it forces you to play a lot of cards out of your hand to actually not waste a skill, if you do use it at all. So it's not that I'm not recommending this deck, but I think it could be better. Given the option, I'd rather go Ildona, but I think without the third Curse Lancer, it wouldn't turn out very well. So this is the deck I have now. It's the Dark Dictator standard. So I mean, feel free to give it a shot, but please, comment with suggestions and stuff, or comment, with just general thoughts and stuff. And yeah, I hope you like the deck. Please be sure to subscribe if you liked it. And thanks for watching.